Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to my channel and for watching this video. If you have been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate the return people. If you're a newbie here, thank you so much for being here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just ask you to subscribe, especially if you have locks. My channel is more locks, any kinds of locks, sister locks, micro locks, traditional locks, and also a little smattering of nursing and some other things, but mostly locks. But go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget to comment and like this video, especially if you get anything out of it. I usually, like I said, talk about locks, but today I actually wanted to talk about edges. And I know for Black women this is a common issue. The things that keep us awake at night are edges. And I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my little edge journey, and also how I grew them back after literally losing like so much of my hairline. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I know that that's always something that's on our mind. So here we go. So the first thing that I wanted to say was that I used two main things to grow back my edges. And again, let me just say that my edges have not grown back completely in the least. There are definitely still some spots that need some help, but let me tell you the big difference, and I'm going to show you guys pictures of how much they have grown. But anyway, the two main things that I used mainly were low manipulation and Jamaican castor oil. And I'm going to show you guys the castor oil that I use at the end. But the first thing was the most important, I feel: low manipulation. So obviously I have locks now, right? So before I had locks, I've never been a big weave or wig kind of person. So I always like braids and cornrows. And so I used to do braids and cornrows a lot. And so right before I got my locks installed, I had braids, box braids, and then before that I had cornrows. And let me tell you, those two took out my front perimeter. It took it out completely. My hairline started like almost behind my ear. It was so bad. And I never took pictures of the back of my back edges, but the back edges were pretty bad too. Those were taken out like at least 1.5 inches up from the hairline was gone. And that was the cornrows. And I always thought cornrows were like the best for your edges. No, they took my edges out completely. So I'm gonna show you guys some pics of my front edges. This is probably about 2 weeks before I got my locks installed, and look at these things. I mean, and not only that I looked angry in the pictures, but I was angry because my edges were gone. I mean, look at how far back my hairline was. Like I said, like the hairline started behind my ear, and all the hair was gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna look so weird with locks, and especially like baby locks that are so fine, that are, you know, super thin and twiggy, with edges looking like that. I was gonna look a hot mess. But I already made my decision about getting the locks, but I was so sad about my edges. These next two pictures are of my install day, the day that I had my locks installed. And again, hairline just gone. Like the edges were sparse. And even though my loctician, the person that did my locks, had told me, you know, not to use any product, just to leave everything alone, I had to use edge control on those edges, at least to like calm them down a little bit. Like I had like random like hairs, as you can see, like there's like random hairs everywhere, and so I had to smooth them down so they looked acceptable. She had told me not to do it because you don't want any products on your new locks and build up and all that stuff, but I had to use edge control just to kind of fix that so I could be out in public and not feel and look ridiculous. These next two pictures were about maybe, I think it was probably like about 2 or 3 months after my install, and you can see that the edges have like grown in like a little bit. And I mean, it made it look even, I feel like at that time it made it look even weirder because the edges had grown in a little bit, but I was still having to like slick them down with the edge control, and it just looked so weird with it, you know, with like so like such a large amount of room for the edges, and then like the lock starting, I was just, it was a rough phase just in general. So what my loctician used to do was every time I would go and get my locks retightened, she would take a little bit and incorporate them into the existing locks. And so I feel like every time that I went and for my retightening, there I would have like less edges and less and less and less, because she was like incorporate them little by little into the existing locks. And then finally, I think we got to the point where she was able to make some new locks. And so I think this guy right here is the first lock that she made out of the edges. I mean, look at these, look at how, like, before, remember how the hairline was like here, and look how much my hair has grown. And all these are locks that have been established, but this was one that she just maybe like, I don't know, 5-6 months ago started it, because it was finally like enough for her to like grab on it to make a new lock. And so she was able to make this one. And then maybe 2-3 months ago, she started this little guy right here. Do you see him? Oh, I'm so proud. And look, you know, like where the hairline used to be like right there, and now it's all the way over here. And I have this new little guy right here. This one also was one that she had started. This was like way back, maybe like 2 years ago. My locks are almost 3 years old, so almost 2 years ago she started this one. Look how long he is. So long, right? And even with that, I mean, like I said, like, you know, the hairline is supposed to be here, and I'm still missing hair over here, but look how much like has filled in. And I still have like some baby hairs that I can lay down and, you know, make my edges look presentable. So yes, I've still bald spot here, but they're still able to be worked with, you know, and it doesn't look weird. And then just this past a few days ago, she was able to give me another new little guy back here. See this little guy? He's brand new. Like I said, the back was gone too. I'm gonna show you guys the back so you can see how much the back also has grown. So here we go. So the hairline was about here, y'all, but here, like I lost all this hair. So all of this is new growth since my edges came out. And you can see, like, you know, the locks are pretty long back there too. So I am like ecstatic because, you know, having sparse edges is just so rough, and I feel like your hair like never looks good even though you're trying so hard. So I am just so glad that my hair has grown back. And now the black castor oil, the Jamaican black castor oil that I was talking about that I use is this one right here. So it's the mango and lime, I guess, mango and lime brand, and it's the argan oil. It smells so good. Argan oil always smells good. Like all my shampoos and everything are argan oil, and so it's the argan oil flavor or smell or whatever. And so basically what I use is I just put a little bit on my fingers right here, and I just rub it into the spots, excuse me, the bald spots. All the bald spots, I just rub it in, just gently rub them in. It's supposed to like stimulate the follicles and stimulate the hair growth. And same thing with the back too, you know, do the same thing with the back. And I do that maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. And I feel like that has helped also tremendously. I mean, if you look back at those other pictures and then look at this one, I mean, there was no hair. This was completely bare. And look at this guy right here, and then this one again. So there is hope, y'all. But the main thing, like I said, so the black castor oil, of course, but then of course, low manipulation. Leave the edges alone, leave the hair alone. You know, if you love wigs and weaves, just try to get so that your stylist will leave your edges out and not incorporate them into like any tight styles. If you have loose natural, just don't do any tight styles. Just whatever you can do to just leave the edges out. If you get cornrows or back braids, have them leave the edges out and just slick them down with edge control, just to protect them, because it's a very fragile area and it will come out just as soon as you can say anything. Just wanted to also say that I am here to tell you that there is hope. If your edges are gone, don't be too stressed, okay? Don't be too stressed. It's gonna be okay. Just be patient. I mean, like I said, I've been locked for almost 3 years, so it's taken about 3 years, almost 3 years, to kind of get the edges back to, you know, a semi, like, you know, acceptable form. So you've got to be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your hair, and leave them alone. But there is hope. Don't, you know, don't be depressed. Don't be depressed. It's gonna be okay. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you come back and you check out some of my other videos. Don't forget to comment and like, and share my videos if you know anybody that has edge issues, or if you're thinking about getting locks. This is the place to be for sure. But yeah, don't forget to share and like and comment on the videos, and let me know if you have any other ideas of things that you want me to make some videos on, and I will be sure to oblige as much as I can. But thank you so much for staying and watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.